Hello, I'm Sadler from Dent Remover, and in today's repair I'm going to show you all the methods that I use to repair a dent like this. So if you're a new technician or if you're really interested in how PDR works, I'm sure you'll take something away from this video. Also, if you're a potential customer looking to see how I operate, then this is the video for you. So let's go and take a look at the damage in a bit more detail. Okay, taking a look at this bonnet, and we can see that it's had quite a decent impact, and it's really distorted the top quarter of this panel. If we take a look at the damage with natural reflection, we can see that there's a deep dent just underneath the bodyline. The bodyline is also very badly damaged, and above this sits a large crown, and this is pushing the extra panel material into the centre of the bonnet, creating this hump. When a customer comes in to see us for an estimate, we like to get the inspection board out. This is so we can see the full extent of all the damage, show any areas that are hiding, and at least the customer knows all the areas that need repairing. And then from this information we can give a detailed estimate. The paintwork condition on this panel isn't the best. There's a few small chips, and also there's a white mark in the centre of this dent, but luckily that's not a chip, and that'll just polish out. Okay, so I've seen all the areas of the damage, and I now need to know what this panel is made from. Is it metal or aluminium? So with a magnet we can easily check this. Does it stick? No. So the panel's made from aluminium. And that means to me that this dent is going to be a little bit harder to repair than it would be if it was a metal bonnet. Next I need to check for access, so if we lift up the bonnet we'll have a visual look to see if there's any kind of holes or trims that we can remove to get some tools in behind that dent. And from what we can see here, there's a plate in the way and there's two tiny holes, so I'm guessing that this will also be aluminium. We'll check with a magnet. Yep, the plate is also made from aluminium, and this will be held in by factory rivets, so there's no way of removing this plate. So let's take a look at these holes, and we can see that there's a hole roughly underneath where the damage is. We can lift the dent up in a nice and controlled way, as long as there's no internal obstructions like brackets and braces. So starting the repair, I'm going to lift it up with the glue system, and then once I've got the general shape, I'll go through this hole using specialist bars, and I'll finish off the repair using a sharp tip. So how did the customer get a dent like this? Well, he was sat in the car minding his own business and someone came along and tripped, and what they did was this. Elbow straight into the bonnet. Bet he had a sore elbow. Before I start the first glue pull, just need to degrease it because I've waxed the bonnet already just to get all the dirt off. I'm just going to give it a few squirts of G-Technique Planet White using a clean rag. Give it another go. Like I said, I did wax it just to get all the stuff off earlier. There we go, it's sorted. Give it a little warm up to take the residue off. Right then, let's get a glue tab on there. So I'll start with the red one. So I said I was going to start with the red one. And I've got my new tab weld glue in there. Big dollop of glue. Just underneath the body line, like I said. So it's just underneath. I'm going to wait 5-10 seconds for that. The new Ultra Dent slide hammer. Right, now we start warming it up. Just until it starts to distort. Bring it right to the edge now. Right, so that's pulled a bit out. I'm going to go again. I'm going to go right on the body line this time. With aluminium, when you warm it up, it goes cold quite quickly because it dissipates the heat really quick. So it's still quite warm. It's a bit flexible. Just check the edge of the glue, it's a bit tacky. You don't want it to go off all the way. And I'll do some gentle pulls this time, I won't just go and yank it. Okay, it's coming out, which is a good thing. A bit more. Gonna go just underneath the body line again. We've got a large crown just on the left hand side of the body line towards the middle of the bonnet. So we've got this crown here, but I don't want to start tapping that because we don't have much access from the inside. So I want to try and pull the low area out so it drops naturally. Right, okay, so I'm going to use a different tab. I'm going to use a black plague tab, a large one, because that usually cuts everything out. Just underneath the body line again. This time I'm going to use a mini lifter where I can adjust the feet. So with this, you can go really wide like that, or you can bring the feet right in and you get a more controlled pull. So we just need to make it big enough so we can get the tab through when we pull it. So otherwise we're pulling against the feet, which isn't very good. Wind it right up, take up all the slack. And we're going to give it a few light pulls, and then gradually, and then pull it really hard. Ooh, like that. One more, I'm going to change to a gangrene tab. These small tabs, crease tabs, just stick like crazy. Put a bit on there. Not a lot of glue. And the reason why I'm putting this one on is because where I've pulled it, it has come out, but then there's a bit of a low and it's more of a crease. So we're going to match the crease with the tab, pull it out. Choices. Just bring the feet in again. Just back it off a little bit so we can get the feet on, and then we'll adjust it around the tab. Bang on. Tighten it back up again. And we'll give it a pull. So it's coming out pretty good. Go again with this. Same place. I'll do this pull and then we'll have a look and see what it looks like. Still needs a couple of seconds. I always put my fingers around there. I have got this little door, so I can put the door on there, but I always put a finger on there because when I'm pulling I don't want to slip, and if you slip you're going to scratch the paint. Okay, let's take a look. Okay, I'm now at a point where it's not moving anymore, so I'm going to start knocking the crowns down now. So I'm going to start with the this crown, and then I'm going to finish off with that one. But there's still going to be a low area around that bodyline area. But this is absolutely solid now. So there's not a lot that's going to give until we address those crowns. The hammer I'm using is a blending hammer from Shane Jacks. It's my favourite hammer. And the first knockdown I'll be using is the one from Crowcarb. It's got a domed leather head, and this is superb for knocking down all crowned areas. The next knockdown I'm using is from Boss PDR, and I've attached an R4 cherry cap tip to the end. Again, this is great for knocking down crowned areas. Okay, so all that tapping, I've been knocking down the high areas, and around this area it's gone pretty well. And it is sitting slightly high around here. There's a little bit there, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue pull this bit, only up a tiny bit, just to kind of get halfway between this part, which is how it should be, and that part. So not a lot, but just halfway. And I'll stick another glue tab on this area, but to be fair, using a bar now, I can get that up no problem. And then this area isn't going to be too bad to repair either. I'll probably glue pull a little bit more around this area too, but yeah, pull this area up halfway between this part and that part, and then we can tap that area down and blend it all back in. And yeah, see, all that bruising is gone now. There's a little bit there, which is, I assume it'll be from an inner brace with a bit of glue on there, but we're not worried about, we don't worry about anything around here at all. We're just repairing this dent, because once this dent comes out, all this should sit nice. Okay, so we don't worry about any of that, just that bit. Using another small crease tab, fits perfectly in that low area. And then we're going to use a mini lifter, because we want to lift it up to a certain area. So we're not using a slide hammer, because we're going to be yanking it out. We just want to have a controlled pull. Okay, one more. Just again, not snappy pulls, just gentle pulls. You can see it in there, look. This crown is proving quite difficult to reshape. This is because the aluminium doesn't have a memory as such, whereas if it is a metal panel, if you tap it down or lift it up, it wants to go back to its original shape. And this is why aluminium repairs usually take a little bit longer to repair than metal panels. I'm just going to warm it up. Just going to warm this area up and tap this area down, but what I need to do is I need to keep some pressure on this part, because what's happening at the moment is when I'm tapping this area down, it's doing that. Sorry, we'll try again. So tap this area down, it goes like that. Tap this area down, it goes like that. So we need to put pressure on there, so when we're tapping down, it goes like that. And this stays where it is. Then again, put pressure on here, tap this bit, that bit will go in and this will stay there. Otherwise you're just doing that. You'll see it rise in a second. So by placing my finger below the body line and applying pressure, we'll lift up the area above the body line where I'm tapping now, and then I can tap this area down. This will help me reshape the body line, sharpen it up and lower the crown without it affecting or lifting up the lower area of this repair. The reason why I keep rubbing the panel as well is just from when I was panel beating, we used to rub the panels instead of looking at it, because with Paintless Dent Removal you're looking at reflections. With panel beating you're feeling, because there's no reflections, because you've took all the paintwork off, so it's not shiny, just full of filler. So as well as looking with my eyes, I can feel where the dent is as well. So it's telling me now that it's high in this area. All this feels okay. This curve is okay. Just starts to bellow up around here and underneath. It's a bit high around there. Yeah, there and there. So there's two ways of feeling the highs and the lows. Right then, let's have a look with the inspection board. So you can see to the right hand side of the body line at the bottom, that's where I was just glue pulling a minute ago, just to raise it up slightly. Then on the body line, just to the right of the body line again, we've got this low area. A few more glue pulls with that and it should straighten out a little bit more. But yeah, it's looking really good so far. Just got a slight bulge there around here. It's like a little semicircle. So there's still a bit of a crowned area from the impact. But like I say, further along the bonnet, it's all straightened out itself, look. There you go, told you not to worry about any of that. Right, I'll carry on. Okay, so I've finished using the glue to pull the dent out, and I have to say it's coming out really well so far. Now I'm going to change methods and I'm going to start using the bars. To secure the bonnet, I'm using an adjustable bonnet prop and a ratchet strap. Just going to find two decent holes and then pull the ratchet strap nice and tight. Now that the bonnet's secure, using the flag tip tool, a really strong one, go through the hole, the access hole, right in there, straight onto the damage. And if I pull the flag tip tool out, that's where my pivot point is. So even though it's a small flag tip tool, it's got a lot of leverage, and you need to be pushing really hard on aluminium because it doesn't like to move in the same way that metal does. So let's go and have a look. So just a couple of pushes and already that's not suitable for it. So I've gone for its big brother, a bit longer. I'm not going to be fouling against the wing now. And the reason why I haven't taken the bonnet off is because I know that I can repair it with the bonnet on. So, you know, that's not a mega problem. And if we keep the bonnet on, we're not going to affect any of the hinge bolts. So I don't need to take the bonnet off. A question that I got just recently from a viewer from one of my other videos was, when you're using a bar, do you twist the dent out or do you push it out? So this is a door bar, you are twisting the handle, but you're effectively pushing the dent out. You might be scraping the back edge and rubbing the back of the panel, but you are pushing. And again with this, I know it's a flag tip tool and you're meant to be doing this, but when I'm pushing this dent out, I'm doing that, or just slightly to an angle, pushing it out. Like that. So I'm not scratching it out like that. Because you tend to find if you do that on flat panels and you're putting a lot of pressure on there and you're twisting, you might get it wrong. And if you get it wrong, you're going to put a large, high crease into the panel. And you don't want that because it totally knackers the job up. And your tip usually finds where the crease was once you tapped it back down again, and it'll do it again, and it'll do it again. It's totally unwanted work. So yeah, don't twist, just push. Okay, so I'm going to change from the flag tip tool, and I'll be using got the Ultra Dent Tools pick, a large one, and this is really good for aluminium because it's sharp, so you need a sharp pick to get the aluminium out. And I'm going to use my favourite bar, the homemade bar. Just got a bit of tape on the end, and I'm going to use this to push the centre of the dent out, that's right on the body line. I'm not going to use any heat for this either. The knockdown I'm using here is made from nylon. It's a basic knockdown found in most starter kits. The tip on mine isn't very sharp, so it's ideal for general blending. Whereas this one is made from a different material and it's called root beer. I've sharpened the tip, so this is ideal for knocking down those micro high areas. Okay, let's take another look with the inspection board and see how far I've got so far. It's coming out really well so far. Just minimal distortion. There we go. But yeah, it's coming out really well so far. I'm very happy with that. Right, let me carry on. So what I'm doing now is I'm just picking out all the tiny little areas. If you look at the paintwork carefully, you can see that there's orange peel. So where the repair is, it's a bit more pickly than the actual painted surface. So I'm using a sharp pick, using this one and the Ultra one because they're both sharp. And I'm just spending quite a bit of time just picking out all the micro lows, because we don't want to be flattening and polishing this area. I need to polish it because there's a few scratch marks from the tap down, but I aren't going to be nibbing it and flattening it down. So the paintwork is going to stay as it is. So it just takes quite a long time to take out all the little micro lows. So I'll carry on. Some vehicles have a lot more orange peel on the paintwork than others. For example, BMWs and Mercedes. This isn't a bad thing, it just means that the paintwork is thick, so it can be difficult to recognise micro lows from orange peel. So this final stage in the repair does take quite a long time, because you've got to carefully pick out all the small lows, cross-checking the repair again and again to give our customer the best possible finish. Okay, so this is the finished results. I just need to polish this area because there's some scratch marks where I've been tapping. But I'll just let you have a quick look before I polish that area up. I'm not going to flat it down with any kind of sanding paper or anything like that. It's this is how it is. I think that looks super duper. Go from this angle, go from all different angles. should be seeing some distortion on those lines. I'm not hiding anything. We'll have a look with an actual reflection in a second. Okay, so let's go with an actual reflection. Using the lighting above. If we go side to side, we can use a skylight just below the body line. It's all looking very good. I'll go nice and slowly as well, so you can see all the orange peel. That's all the fine dots in the paintwork that I've pretty much replicated with a sharp pick. We'll go really close so you can see the actual right on the repair there. One more pass with the fluorescent tubing. There we go, I'll polish up now. So that's the dent done now. We just need to take a look at this hole. That's the hole that we went through. And there's one on the other side as well. There we go. So we're just going to tidy this up and then touch it with a bit of black and put some wax oil on it. This hole straightener is from Keiko Tools. You need the mini lifter to use this, but it's great for straightening up any areas where you've had to lever off to do the repair. Okay, so just before we take a look at the finished results, I'd just like to say a big thank you for watching my video so far. And if you have enjoyed it, it'd be great to get a thumbs up. Also, you're welcome to leave a comment below. If you didn't enjoy it, don't be shy, just tell us why. If you're subscribed to the channel already, that's absolutely superb. And if you haven't subscribed already, it'd be great to get you on board because it really does help my channel grow. So that's it for now. Thanks for watching. Cheers.